Saturday morning at 10 a.m. That's when it starts off,
Wait,
folks.
it's not 2 p.m.? You're doing prelims.
Oh, I'm starting at the early prelims. I'm watching all these fights.
10 a.m. is pretty early for a fighting sport.
I'll have my coffee and I'll be there with my biscuit.
Where is the
and
fight?
It's going to be great. Fight Island, Az Island or Zaz Island or something like that. In the
Middle East,
Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi or something.
Yeah, everybody's got their,
their Little St. James.
Shut up. And huge card. I saw a bunch of the stats about like the fighters' records combined. There's only if you remove like one fighter, can't remember which one. It's one of the good ones. Then
Oliveira,
there's like 37 O's or something. And by O's I mean unbeatens. There's like 37 and O's combined on this card. There's so many unbeaten fighters, so many bad motherfuckers. You got like Bulldog fighting the flashy guy. You've got like the one of the most beloved 155-pound champions ever, who's not technically the champ right now because he missed weight by 0.3 pounds last time, but he is the fucking champ. Charles the Bronx Oliveira, coming from the favelas of Brazil, having to go through life while the other kids were at the sporting event. He was there selling cheese on the beach. They're on the beach having fun. He's selling cheese on the beach because they're stat fucking poor, growing up with not enough money to eat enough, with his mother giving everything she had, and now he's putting those people up in fucking mansions, and then all of a sudden he has a daughter, and he's not getting
champion pay anymore.
No, that's true. We're about to fix that, I think, though. And then when he has a daughter, it sort of like flips a switch in this guy, and he just starts eating every one of the best fighters in the world alive in sequence as fast as they can feed them to him, one after another, the best in the world. And he's got one more guy left, and he's the world beater that everybody says is the second coming of Khabib Nurmagomedov. And Khabib is right there behind him with his fucking nasty ass chin beard, that sexist piece of shit, terrorist supported cocksucker, Russian piece of shit.
Wait a minute. I'm taking this a little personally because, like,
are
I'm
you
sexist? I support terrorists.
Well,
all I need is to grow out my chin beard.
They're probably having this fight in Abu Dhabi because that piece of shit couldn't get a visa back to the U.S.
Wow, this is reeking of Islamophobia.
I mean, those guys are real scummy pieces of shit. You can say Conor's a bad guy because he hypes a fight up well and makes you millions of dollars. He's a bad guy because remember when they jumped in the ring and attacked Conor? I saw a clip today. Conor clipped two of them so hard that you can hear it in the cell phone footage. Like two of the random guys who jumped in, like Khabib's cousins. Like,
no, you're right. Conor did hold his own even after he had just lost the fight.
Yeah,
that
was shitty.
Like the crew.
Conor builds a fight, he says awful things and does awful things. Khabib doesn't build a fight, but he will spit on you while you're down and then jump you with his boys any chance he gets. Every time Khabib's had an issue with somebody in or out of the ring, he never shows up 1v1 or even 3v3. He brings a dozen fucking cocksuckers that look just like him. He's you got to keep Muslims around you, good Muslims around you. He certainly does, a dozen at a time.
He keeps a gang around him, but I don't think Conor gets a pass on that because Conor also brings a gang with him everywhere he goes.
Because they had attacked his friend with a gang.
Well, I mean, and Conor beats up guys in bars, beats up guys on boats.
Well, that's years later, and that guy refused a glass of his whiskey, which in Ireland is like fucking his daughter, and they asked her something.
That's very disrespectful. The Irish need to drink with them.
I can't imagine that any real Irishman would turn down
no true Scotsman.
You don't like whiskey. If Conor McGregor gave you some of his whiskey, I don't really like whiskey either. You know what I'd do? I'd go, thank you so much, Mr. McGregor.
Yeah, now I would. Conor McGregor's got that left.
Yeah, I'd be like, I love it.
He sleeps you like Aldo in the middle of an Applebee's.
That's what I know. If you don't drink from the right, you drink from the left.
Yeah. But you would drink it, wouldn't you? Well, I guess Khabib doesn't want to because he's Muslim and they're not supposed to drink
I'm glad you mentioned that. So it's like, I know all this nitty gritty stuff. What he does too. But like there was this press conference. They're building the fight, Khabib versus Conor. Conor's got his liquor there, and he's pouring little plastic cups of it for everybody. And he's like, "Here, Dana," and Dana, of course, takes it. Dana's going to drink Conor's drink. They're all drinking the Kool-Aid, literally up there. And he's like, no, give it to that weird fucker. Yeah, give him some. And he's Muslim. He can't drink. He's like, no, I will not drink. No, I will not drink. Why? Why won't you drink? Why won't you drink? And he wants him to say, because I'm a Muslim, I can't drink. And he wants to like,
gotcha. It's like,
right?
we all knew that.
Yeah, they haven't. It's such good theater. I hate Khabib. I hope this guy loses. Charles is such a wonderful human being. And I think he's just the best. I hope he's a real underdog. 3.5 to 1 at one point. I don't know what the odds are right now. But it was looking bad. Probably still is. And,
I have thought Charles Oliveira was going to lose his last like 3 fights, and I was wrong every time. So I'm kind of changing my tune here and being like, apparently this guy's really good at fighting.
He's a good guy too. I just like him as a dude. Like
really, I don't connect with him because he doesn't speak English.
I watched one of those fucking things they made about him. You know, one of those documentaries that ESPN and
30 for 30.
Not one of those. It was like a UFC little promo thing they did for the fight. That's like maybe 10, 15 minutes on him. And I wasn't paying attention at first, but like I started paying more and more attention, and it was pretty cool. They sold me on the guy. He seems like a real nice guy.
Yeah, I don't think anyone says anything but nice things about him.
Yeah, I want him to like win. I want him to succeed. And I don't know. There's nobody else in that division left that has such a chance at greatness like that. If he takes this guy out, he's the GOAT, in my opinion, at 155. He's the best there's ever been at 155.
I think you're underestimating Khabib's record. Like you give Oliveira the strength of schedule advantage, but Khabib beat Poirier, Khabib beat Gaethje, Khabib beat McGregor. Like he has some strength of schedule too.
McGregor's the only one that Oliveira doesn't have on his record that Khabib has. I would imagine, and I bet he has a few more. Right?
I agree.
Ferguson.
If you're going to say
Ferguson,
if you're going to say Oliveira's strength of schedule is good, then you have to say that Khabib's is too, since they're the same dudes. If anything, Khabib beat him closer to their prime.
I've seen it broken down in a pictogram before, and it's like it's not just those dudes; it's the whole strength of schedule, right? It's the other guys that he also beat in the past, like. There's a lot of those guys that you beat and they're kind of journeymen, but it's like that's a real fighter you had to get through. He won more than he lost. But then
Khabib has like 27 or 29 wins and no losses.
Yeah.
But some of those people don't have Wikipedia pages.
Yeah. So... If you don't have a Wikipedia page, then it shouldn't fucking count. Like look. I bet Woody could blow his record out of the water if he started counting all the YouTubers he roughed up over the years. I know of like 4 of us that he's got wins over.
He did narrowly defeat me. I'll say
narrowly defeat Taylor. Taylor was stronger, but he didn't have any weapons.
No, didn't know what to do.
He's like, now what do I do?
It's like, all right, I got a secure hold on him.
There was only one guy there who knew jujitsu.
Yeah. I was like, I wrestled in middle school, and then I was like immediately like, oh, like so jujitsu must be like he knows what I'm doing. Like it's like, and Woody masterfully identified the only move I did, which was many double leg takedowns in the middle of that hotel room. That was fun. Yeah, you're at least 5-0, right?
Yeah,
count that. You're 5-0.
Look, I hate Khabib. I don't think there's anything good about Khabib. His personality. I think he's such a sexist piece of shit. He's the whole thing with the ring girls and the way he runs his operation over there. The fact that they're literally supported by what we consider to be
like ring girls.
Those Chechens are terrorists. The ones in particular that he's supported by, like they're tied up in the current issues in Ukraine. like these are
now
these
you're
are actual
anti-terrorist all of a sudden. I think you're just finding reasons not to.
That
like
one
Khabib.
Chechen guy with the beard and that haircut, like I used to have. He's got that fucking Lloyd Christmas haircut. I don't think
it's fair to judge him for his behavior outside the ring.
I think that's exactly what I hate that guy. I hate Khabib so much. I've always hated him.
So Kyle likes watching the fights, but in terms of UFC, he's a viewer plus a stats and stories guy. He likes all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Makes the fights get better if you know who's fighting and what they're fighting for, and if you and you can. I think you need a heel. You need a good guy and a bad guy. You need a good guy and a bad. When you got 2 good guys fighting,
2 bad guys works.
2 bad guys works. 2 good guys doesn't really even work. It's like, God, I don't want to. Can't you guys talk it out? Yeah. Like you guys are shaking hands right before you go in there. Hang on a minute.
I was showing my wife about Khabib today, and there's this cool story. So Khabib, when he's against Conor's insulting Khabib's wife, Khabib's father, Khabib's religion, Khabib's country. He's really getting under Khabib's skin and genuinely hurting his feelings. So for me, it was a blast to watch Khabib be like, All right, now we're fighting. Now we're in the octagon. It's just you and I in our underwear getting shit done. And he's pounding on Conor, like, talk now, pound on him. What you got to say now? Pound it. And Conor's like, I was just hyping stop hitting me. I really hate
He
this.
didn't say stop hitting me, but he probably said, "You stupid Neanderthal. This is the fight business.
He did
you
say
millionaire."
it was just talk. It was just talk or something like that. He was begging for forgiveness. It's great. All right. When he fought Justin Gaethje,
I think Woody might be misreading the situation a little bit.
What's your read of it? I'm interested.
I can picture Conor's face. He's saying, "Just business." He's like, "You're an idiot. It's just fucking business. Are you really still mad?" Like he's almost incredulous that dude, you just won the fight. You just spit on me, and
This was during the fight, though. It wasn't post-fight. During the fight. But I think Kyle's right about the quote. He's like, "It was just business. It was just business."
And he's like, "Why are you mad
now?
bro?
It was just business." It was pretty great. All right, but let me get to where I'm headed with this. Justin Gaethje was a different thing. Justin Gaethje wasn't a dick. It was kind of two good guys.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're cutting weight, apparently cutting weight's really, really brutal. I've never cut beyond like the 5 first easy pounds. And like Gaethje and Khabib are doing it together and kind of bonding. Justin Gaethje's parents meet Khabib and they're like, "Oh, you're fighting my son in a few days. Nice to meet you." And they like hit it off. All right. Now Khabib is winning this fight. He's dominant. Gaethje hits really hard. Hardest that Khabib's ever been hit, but it's not enough. And Khabib gets the jump on Gaethje and he's got an armbar locked in. But Gaethje doesn't have any quit in him. He's not going to tap. And Khabib is like, "Well, I'm not going to break this guy's arm in front of his parents. That's not nice." So he switches to a triangle choke and chokes the guy out. He beats him peacefully as an act of kindness in front of his parents. And then afterwards,
that's nice.
Afterwards, Gaethje, like even in the post-octagon interview, he's like, "Oh, I really respect him. One of the cool things about losing by triangle is you can get right back in there. So Dana, get me a fight." You know, and like he helped him out.
He's a terrorist and he's a piece of shit.
That's a strong point. That is compelling to me. I don't know any of the facts, but I trust my friend. Fighter. I trust my friend Kyle.
Well, a UFC fighter that has been funded by a Chechen terror warlord. So you know.
I don't know that.
I mean, a quick Google search will just show you that Chechen warlord. He's got that same chin beard and that, like, again, that haircut I used to have. I'll admit it. And he's a Chechen warlord. He's tied up in this.
If associating with people who have bad hair makes you a terrorist, with them, then I might be a terrorist for old school FPSRussia videos.
Well, look, he was funded. He's funded. Hey, look, he's a terrorist as far as I'm concerned. And I think Conor McGregor is just a swell guy. You know, just trying to do a little business.
They just need to grow out the mustache portion of the beard, and it would look 1,000,000 times better.
So. Anyway, there's a fight this weekend on Saturday. It starts early. 2 p.m. is the main card.
Eastern time,
which is kind of nice. I'm looking forward to that. I can stay awake for all the fights.
Yeah.
And maybe twice a year, I declare a UFC event to be a Super Bowl. You know, this one has 2 title fights, if I recall. 4 out of the 5 fights on the main card I really care about. And the 5th one is girls. And girls always go in to kill. They're so aggressive. They don't play defense. Not always, but you typically girl fights. I
enjoy girl fights. I almost always. They're usually quite good. So yeah, very big card. Steal it, buy it, whatever you're gonna do, but watch it. It'll be good.
If you see 2 girls fighting, it is not like the WNBA. You're gonna enjoy watching.
What do we did you take the terrorist in the betting and I took Oliveira? Or did we do something else?
I don't know. Zach, do you remember? Did we bet on that one?
Yeah, I can't recall.
I imagine Woody would have bet on Khabib, right?
Khabib's retired, but his student is this other shit. They all look the same and talk the same, and they all have the same.
I think I did take him. I think I originally was like, I kind of want the underdog, and you're like, oh, I do too, and I was like, oh, never mind, I'll take the other guy.
Yeah. I definitely want Oliveira, and Sean O'Malley's gonna get mauled. And then what's the other fight? I'm spacing. It's the
Michalek or something, right?
I'm thinking that guy's name starts with B, who's like kind of boring but a good fighter.
Dario Barrios.
Yeah,
that's a good fight. But there's a third one at the top that I'm spacing on. It doesn't matter. It's a very good card. Super psyched for it. I've been looking forward to specifically the Oliveira fight for weeks now.
Yes.
Been really excited about
Oh,
it.
you're thinking of Sterling Dillashaw.
Yes, I love TJ Dillashaw. Look, he's your villain. You want to talk good guys and villains? Fucking Petr Yan over there.
The CEO of
Russian,
EPO.
the CEO of EPO.
Do you think he's gonna be on drugs this time?
I hope so. I hope he's on better drugs. You saw that?
What does EPO mean in
it's
fighting?
like blood
cardio
or cardio.
Oh.
Yeah. I sent you that picture of him the other day in the in WhatsApp, and I wrote under it CEO of EPO, and he's fucking dick skin lean, right? Like his below his belly button is like sunken in a way I've never even seen people get lean like. And yeah, I'm super psyched for his fight. I think his last win that was legit might go all the way back to Cody Garbrandt. 4 years
He
ago.
lost that fight that he tested druggy for.
Yeah, he did. I'm talking about his last win. Going back to him KOing Cody Garbrandt about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. So it's been a while since he's been clean and victorious in the cage. But I just believe in TJ Dillashaw. He's a bad motherfucker. He's got a great team. He always works hard, and I bet his drugs are better this time, harder to detect. So I bet he's gonna smoke.
That's the question. I think TJ Dillashaw without drugs is not that good. That's my theory. I'm not sure we're going to see TJ Dillashaw without drugs in this fight. He looks like $1 million.
Looks so good. No, I got my money on him. Poor Sean O'Malley. I've never been on the O'Malley train. He seems kind of cringe to me, kind of the way Henry Cejudo does. I do like his podcast a little bit because you get inside look at like fighters and shit. But I'm tired of all the gold shit and the funky hair, and like I saw what you look like when you started fighting, dude. Like you're a normal dude. Like just be a normal dude. All that rainbow shit. He always comes out just probably. I don't like that. Like build a cool character like Colby Covington and be hateful.
That actually is where I was going. So hypothetical, Kyle Myers is in the UFC, right? And as you know, it's half based on your fighting talent and half based on your ability to sell fights. It's hard to sell fights where you lose all the time, but how does Kyle, like, what's your nickname and what's your character?
I mean, I've already done this once, Woody. Like I would just use the same character if we're in an alternate. We're in an alternate universe where like I'm a fighter now. Then I just do the same thing.
You just be a Russian from Georgia.
Oh, dude, no! Right now, can you imagine the heel I could be as a fake Russian in the UFC? If I was a UFC fighter and I was like, look, Dana, sign me, but wait until my name is legally changed. We've got the paperwork's in the mail. I'm changing my name to this Russian name. You got to tell them that I'm from the wilds of fucking Siberia, that I killed a bear when I was 5 years old. Like we're gonna make me a WWE like legend here, and then I come out spouting that super harsh anti-Ukraine shit. Fucking, I've got the Z on my chest. And when at the press conference when the other guy pulls out his belt he's so proud of, I fucking spray paint the Z on it. I fucking yeah, we're taking that too. We've got a special fucking military ass whooping operation coming for you next Saturday, fucking comrade. And like, doing the accent, of course. That's what you do. You make people angry. It's so much easier to make people angry than to make people love you. Being a heel is simple.
There's less
everybody knows
for
what
that role.
hate.
If you need half heels and half faces, I think they're called.
Yeah.
90% of the roster wants to be a face. It's hard to get that job. 10% of the roster is going for the other half of the jobs.
It's an easy job.
Math is there.
It's an easy job, especially when
you could skip right to WWE. Like you wouldn't even have to do UFC.
No, fucking Colby Covington is the current master. This is a guy who they were like, don't we even want this guy on the roster anymore? He's a boring wrestler who occasionally punches people in the head, but mostly he just grabs them and throws them on the ground and controls them for 3 rounds.
Lay and pray.
Not very
kind
fun
of
to
boring.
watch. Yeah.
And he was like, actually, I'm a MAGA wrestler now. Let's make America great again, one ass whooping at a time. Start with you, homeboy.
He had a fight in Brazil, and they told him he was going to be cut from the roster whether he wins or loses. And he's like, keep booing me, all you filthy animals. And the UFC is like, never mind, we're keeping him.
Yeah, he called the crowd of Brazil filthy animals, and they were like, you've got a place here, sir.
Yeah.
And he built his character until Donald Trump apparently believes it's real. and has called him multiple times post-fight and has shown up at his fights. He's been to the Koval office. Colby Covington has, with the belt, with Donald.
I like that it's the Koval office now.
Yeah, the Koval office. The Koval office.
It's no,
I mean, that's smart. You play
and
into
again,
something,
like
makes you divisive.
mentioning Colby again, he was there with Kanye at the funeral for BLM. He injected himself into that to get a little bit of press. So I'm sure people were like, who are Kanye fans, were like, who the fuck is that big ass white dude? What the fuck is he about? And they're like,
I might be
he's the
stupid.
worst.
I can't tell where Colby ends and the act begins.
I don't
Kyle's convinced
I think it's all
a show. It's all, yeah. I'm not as sure. I can't tell where it starts and ends.
I think it's all an act, but it's his fucking. He starts out his like videos. What's up, nerds and virgins? He's got 2 paid like girls in bikinis.
I forgot that.
Nerds and virgins. Welcome to the fucking show. He's got like 2 girls like in bikinis with their thongs like all over him, like, and he's just talking mad shit. It's good stuff. It's good content. He's
The other
very
fighters
hateable.
sell him out too. They're like, those girls, they don't like him at all. Like,
Yeah.
like he tried to get a handshake and couldn't. Like they're paid to be there. But he acts like he has 2 girlfriends in bikinis.
I'd be like, yeah, they make more than you made on your last fight, asshole. Like what are you still making 2020? Like he's mean like that too. He'll insult the amount of money you make. He'll go after your family, your wife, your children. He's real no holds barred with it. That's how a villain operates. You ever watching a movie or a TV show, you're new to this universe, this creator, whoever's the showrunner, whoever you want to blame or praise for a show's style and direction, and the characters you care about suddenly get into a spot of trouble. Okay, the pirates are boarding our ship, or let's say an intruder's breaking into the house late at night and his family's alone, that the husband's away. At first, we don't know how much trouble they're in, right? It depends what kind of show this is.
Sure.
Maybe we might. Is this the kind of show where they're gonna rape people and like molest people? That like in The Walking Dead, they'll rape your son in front of you. That's the kind of show that is. So when people get in a little trouble, your heart races, because this is a world where people rape your son in front of you. That makes a good show because the stakes are scary. The same way, and the stakes are important in everything that we do. The higher the stakes, the more interesting things are. Yeah. And a lot of shows have these low ball stakes, and you just can't get into them. I like a show with high stakes.
Yeah, the plot armor and Family Guy, hate it.
And so
Peter's never gonna die.
And so when Colby Covington shows up as a villain, and you're watching him on your TV, the stakes are high because this might leave this little microphone, and somebody might get an ass whooping for real over here outside the ring. He's done it before. He's been in a couple of altercations outside the ring.
He doesn't win them all.
Doesn't win them all, but he wins all. He's going to win the lawsuit. That's all that matters. He's hitting him up for the Rolex damages, and he's saying he's got brain trauma. What if they scan him? They find brain trauma, which is of course from fighting. He says it's from Masvidal and hits Masvidal for $4 million, $50 million. What his future earnings or something, and ruins Masvidal's life.
Since has he?
He has not fought since. He doesn't know what to do. It seems he should be going after McGregor. That's his fight. That's who's looking for a fight, and that's where the money is. He should be begging McGregor. Instead, he's begging Leon Edwards. You know what Leon Edwards said? Get on your knees and beg. He said, "Get on your knees and beg, and I'll fight you."
He's the champion in his weight division.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a backstory. Jorge Rivera's like
Jorge Masvidal.
I'm sorry, thank you. Jorge Masvidal is like the second coolest guy in the division at this time. He's doing an interview, and
Leon
Edwards walks by, and I think maybe he says something, or they get into like a little spat. Out of nowhere, Jorge Masvidal hits him 4 times. Pop, 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 pop. Right? They're behind stage. That's during an interview. Edwards did not see it coming, and afterwards, Masvidal says he gave him a 3-piece and a soda, which everyone is like, "Wait, what? What is a 3-piece and a soda? What is happening with this 3-piece and a soda? I've never heard of a 3-piece." Other fighters are like, "Is a 3-piece and a soda a thing that I'm unaware of?" Our minds are spinning over this 4-punch combo that is now known as the 3-piece and the soda. I still don't fully understand it. other fighters don't. Chael Sonnen can't explain it to me. No one knows what a 3-piece Minnesota is, but we're all fascinated by the branding on it. It's fucking.
It's a 4-item combo. It's so clear what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 punches. A 4-item combo.
That would have been my
Minnesota.
guess. Yeah, that he got hit 4 times.
Chael Sonnen's a moron.
The phrasing of it is now part of the UFC lore and legend. Like it's written in stone.
I gave him a
great
3-piece
line.
in
One of
soda.
the best lines.
He's got
so Leon Edwards has been wanting this rematch, and the UFC is like, no, we can't reward backstage fights with pay-per-view numbers.
And Masvidal don't want it anyway, because this Leon Edwards guy, he's not the champ, and Masvidal wants money fights and championship fights. He's headed for the top.
And Leon Edwards also very good. So he's risky, but he's not a big name.
So
anyway,
now Leon's the champ.
A few years goes by. Leon Edwards beats the champ, takes the belt for himself, and now Masvidal wants to fight. And Leon Edwards says, "Get on your knees and beg."
Yeah. That's good. And this is the kind of sport where that's the way it goes. The Yankees can't say that, like when it comes time to play the game, whoever comes out of the NL, whoever they got to play, they've got to play them. That's not, but it's a fighting promotion, right? It's not exactly a sports league. Dana White can be like, nah, you don't have to fight that guy. He's a wrestler. Why would you do that? It's no fun. Go fight 3 more shitty kickboxers and wear them out.